Hello, welcome to the 19th lesson of Python in UG Academy. Today, we are going to talk about iterators before going to the final project. What are iterators? Iterators are objects that can be used together with for loop to iterate through the object. A very simple example of iterators including list and then string. For example, in this case, for C in high road. Since I have always been using list to demonstrate for loop previously, today I'm going to use string as a demonstration. Each string can be iterated as well. Iterate is just another name for loop. You can treat it like that. For example, in this case, for C in high road. High road is a string, and C would be, and in each loop iteration, C would be represent a character within this string. So let's see the result. You can see we print C, and it actually contains one character within this string. So this is how string serves as an iterator. Of course, today we are going to talk more about iterators or iterables. You can also tell that. We can user define an iterator as well. In this case, we define a function, but this is actually not a function, it's an iterator, okay? It's called squares. And within these iterators, we take in a parameter called n. And then we create a for loop within these iterators, and then we use the keyword yield. Here, yield is the keyword to return a square value of I, and then increment the value of I by 1 after each for loop. Here, this function can be called multiple times, and the I value will change in every call, giving a different value within the loop. Let's have a look at the example. Example, for j in squares 5, the squares is here, and then we pass in the parameter 5. Let's see what will the loop behave. That is the value of j. As you can see, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. Those are the squared number of integers up till 5. So in some cases, you can define these iterators by yourself, and it can be very helpful when creating a for loop. In addition to function, a user-defined object can be an iterable as well. Here, we define a class called cube. And since this is for demonstration purpose, it's not actually a class. So I just pass keyword here in the initialization function. So this class doesn't contain anything solid. However, it does have an overload function called the iter overload. By overloading this function, it allows this class of cube to become iterables. And then the working principle of the iter overloading is quite similar to the iterators here. So now let's create an instance of the cube. Create an instance of cube, and then we perform a for loop on cube. Normally this is not possible. However, since we overload the iter here, so we can now iterate directly through the for loop using this syntax. As you can see, 1, 8, 27, 64, 125. This is the cube of integers up till the number 5. In this case, the number 5 is defined here, but not passed as a function argument. In addition to user-defined iterators, the Python also contains a standard library. It's also contains a package in the standard library called Itertools. It provides some useful tools for us to combine iterators together and it can sometimes be quite useful as well. Today we are going to demonstrate two Itertools. The first one is combinations, and the second one is product. The combination is really quite simple. For example, we define two lists here, x and y, 1, 2, 3, and a, b, c. In the combination case, we are just going to use x, and it takes in first argument. The first it takes in two arguments. The first argument is the iterable you want to iterate through, and the second argument is the integer indicating the number of elements within the combinations. That is, it's a bit like the NCR stuff if you have studied in high school. So it will iterate all possible combinations which contain two elements within the list X. So we can expect there to be three combinations because 3C2 is 3. Let's have a look. As you can see, it returns a tuple while iterating. And then 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3 is the only 3 combinations you can build on top of the list X. And then, in addition to combinations, we also have an Itertools called product. Product is a bit different. From the combination Itertools. It actually takes the Cartesian products of two iterables x and y and allow it to iterate through the product pairs. The Cartesian product is simply matching each element within x with each element within y. Okay. So you can see it matches each element within x, 1a, 1b, 1c to each element within y. This is how the product iterators work. There are still other Itertools within the Itertools package, but due to time limit, today we are just going to discuss about these two. Okay, and then in next lesson, we are going to directly go into our final project of this Python series.